Hello everyone, welcome back to the next video in Azure Data Factory playlist. So today we are going to learn about how we can able to use the user assigned manager identity for our Azure SQL. So we are going to authenticate our Azure SQL using the user assigned manager identity, and we are going to copy the data from our Azure SQL to ADLS Gen2 as a file using the data factory with the help of copy activity. So let us get started. So let me give an overview of what is Azure SQL database. So Azure SQL database is an online cloud-based storage area where you can able to store your structured data, and you can organize it into a table views and store procedures. So it has a highly secured security features available for you, and it has the scalability and access for your data through Azure. So here are some of the key features available for you for your Azure SQL database. So it is a fully managed service. So let's say for an example, you don't need to worry about what infrastructure and the updates of your database. It will be automatically handled by the Azure itself. So we have a high scalability. So as a cloud service, you can able to scale up and scale down your database based on your business needs at any time, and we have a high availability. So there is a low downtime for your database. You can access it anytime. Advanced securities. So we have a specific security in your Azure. So you can able to use the Azure Intra ID for your user managements, and there are highly secured and firewall accesses for your SQL databases, and we have a backup and recovery storage for your data, so you can able to restore your data at any point of time. So it has a global availability, as Microsoft has data centers worldwide. You can able to create your instance anywhere in the regions. So we have seamless integration with Azure services, so you can create your database and store your data and use it with a number of Azure services. So it has a serverless compute option, so you don't need to start and pass and allocate compute for your queries. It will be automatically handled by Azure SQL itself. So let me walk through the use case that we are going to perform. So we have an Azure SQL database available in our subscription. We are going to use the copy activity using the linked service connection, and we are going to move the table as a file in our ADLS Gen2 account. So if you don't have an Azure SQL in your Microsoft Azure, so you can able to create your own Azure SQL with the help of the Azure Portal. So let me provide the link in the description. You can check how you can create and configure an Azure SQL for your Microsoft Azure. So ADLS Gen2 account is the storage service provided by Azure, so where you can able to store your files, audios and videos. So it has different access tiers, and you can securely store your data in blob as well. So this storage accounts provides you a blob storage and an ADLS Gen2 account. So in ADLS Gen2 account, you can maintain your files and audios and video in a hierarchical format, which is the directories and subdirectories. So you can also able to create any storage accounts for your Azure subscription. So in this case, we are going to use user assigned manager identity authentication to authenticate our Azure SQL to perform this migration. So let me explain the four main steps we are going to follow in this migration. So first thing, you need to create a user assigned manager identity. So say for an example, the think user assigned manager identity is a standalone service provided by Azure, where you can able to create an instance and you can provision with any of the sources. You can able to authenticate a ADLS Gen2 account using this user assigned manager identity, or Azure SQL using this identity. So first thing, you just need to create an identity. Second, you are going to integrate this with your Azure Data Factory. So you need to assign this to the Azure Data Factory that you are going to perform the migration. And third step, you are going to connect to the Azure SQL server with admin control. So there are Azure SQL server admins who can able to create the users and assign specific roles for the users that has been registered under your tenant. So we are going to configure the Azure SQL admin, and we are going to log in the SSMS with this MFA authentication. And finally, we are going to provide the access for the user assigned manager identity that we have created, and the specific roles required for the migration. So let us get into Azure Portal and start our migration. Azure Portal. First thing, we are going to create a user assigned managed identity instance. So to create any resource in Azure Portal, you need to click on create resource. And then you are going to search for the particular resource that you are going to create. So let me search for user assigned. So you can just click on this user assigned managed identity. So this will takes you to the marketplace of this available. You can just create any services in this marketplace. So in this you can find the user assigned managed identity. You are going to create this. You can just click on this. And in this you can just click on create. So this is specifically an authentication service provided by Azure. So you can able to create and authenticate this to your Azure services. So in this, first you need to select the subscription available for you. So currently I have only one subscription. You can able to search your subscription and select the particular subscription. So you need to select the resource group under which you are going to create this identity. So I am going to use the resource group Azure Data Factory. And then you need to select the region, the specific region that you are going to create this resource. So let me select South India. And finally, name for your resource. Let me provide us Azure SQL user. And once you have provided the subscription, resource group, region and the name, you can just click on review and create. And then you can just verify the things and click on create. So the deployment is in progress. So now the deployment is completed. So we have created the identity. You can just navigate to the Azure Data Factory. So this is the Azure Data Factory that we are going to use, or you can just get into the Azure Data Factories and you can navigate to the particular data factory that you are going to perform the migration. Let me click on this. So once you are under this resource page, under the settings, you can just find the managed identities available for you. You can just click on this managed identities. So this will provide you two different managed identities, which is system assigned and user assigned. You can just go to the user assigned. So this will list all the identities that you have registered. You can create a new registration with clicking this add. So under this you can just select the subscription, and once you have selected the subscription, it will list all the identities that you have created. You can also search by the names. So this is the identity that we have created recently. So let me click on this and click on add. So this will add the identity that we have created to our Azure Data Factory. So once we have added this to our Data Factory, we just need to provide necessary access for this identity in our Azure SQL. So we can connect to our Azure SQL through SSMS. So now I have connected inside my SSMS. I have logged inside my Azure SQL. I have connected with an MFA authenticated user, which is a SQL Server admin. So if you have connected to your Azure SQL with a SQL authentication user, you cannot able to create a user or provide access for the users. So you just need to register a user as a server admin first, and then you need to connect the server admin using the MFA authentication. So if you don't know how you can able to provide a server admin for your Azure SQL server, I have provided the link in the description. You can just watch the video where I have explained about how you can provide a server admin for your Azure SQL server, and you can able to connect through SSMS using the MFA authentication. So once you have logged in to your Azure SQL with your server admin login, you can just create a user. So let me provide as create user. You can create the user based on the name of your identity. So let me provide the identity name Azure SQL user from external providers. So we can just execute this. So now the user has been created. Once the user has been created, we can provide the access for the user. So let me provide execute. SP underscore add role member. So this is an inbuilt SP in SQL to assign roles for the users. So let me provide DB data reader access for my user. So let me provide the username here. So now let me execute this. So now the user has a read access for my data available in my Azure SQL. So with this user, I can able to read all the data available inside my Azure SQL database. So I just need write permissions for this user as well. So let me provide as DB data writer. So I have executed this. So now our user has read and write permissions for our Azure SQL database. So once you have created the user identity and provided access for the identity, you can just start our migration. I am inside my Azure Data Factory. You can just navigate to the resource that you have created, and you can just click on launch the workspace to get into the Azure Data Factory. So once you are in, you can just navigate to the other tab where we will create all our pipelines and configurations. So under this pipelines, I have created subfolders to store our pipelines in an organized manner. So under this Azure SQL, let me create a new pipeline. So let me rename the pipeline. Let me provide as pipeline Azure SQL user. So let me move the copy data activity into the canvas. So let me provide the name for my activity, copy Azure SQL to ADLS. So once we have provided the name for the activity, we can just provide the source configuration. So we are going to create a new connection using the user assigned manager identity. So let me click on new dataset. So let me navigate to the Azure services. Under this, you can just search for the Azure SQL database. So here you can just click on this Azure SQL database and click on continue. Let me provide the name for the dataset Azure SQL user. So once you have provided the name for the dataset, you can just create a new linked service for our Azure SQL. So in this, let me provide the name for the linked service ls Azure SQL user. So once you have provided the name, you just need to verify the integration runtime. So as this is a cloud storage, you can just go with auto resolve integration runtime, and under this you need to select the subscription. So let me select the subscription. Under the subscription, I'm going to select the SQL server that I have created, and once you have selected the server, the list of databases will be available for you. You can just click on the database that you are going to point, or you can able to enter manually the server name and the database name. Once you have provided these configurations, you can just go to the authentication type. You are going to authenticate with user assigned managed identity. So once you have selected this, it will ask you to create a credential. You can just click on new credential. So let me provide the name for the credential. So once you have provided the name for your credential, then you need to verify the type is user assigned managed identity. You can just select the subscription, and once you have selected the subscription, the user assigned managed identity under your subscription which are related to this data factory will be listed. You can just select this Azure SQL user, and you can just click on create. So once you have provided all the configurations, you can just click on test connection. So once you have tested the connection successfully, you can just click on create. So now once you have created the link to service, the list of tables will be available for you. You can just select any of the table. Let me select address, and let me click on OK. So now we have configured the source connection. So we can just hit on the preview data. So this will show the first 10 rows as a preview for you. So this is the data available in our table. So let me provide the sync dataset configurations. Let me create a new dataset. Let me select the ADLS Gen2 account and click on continue. Destination as a CSV file. Let me click on continue. Provide the name as dataset customer CSV Azure SQL. So let me configure the existing linked service where we have provided the URL and the access key authentication for our ADLS Gen2 account. So let me click on browse. Under this sample container, under the output folder, I am going to create this customer address table as a file. So let me provide the name for the file, customer address .csv. So let me check on this first row as a header. As the file is not available now, let me click on none and click on OK. So we have provided the source and the sync configurations. You can just click on validate. So there is no validation error. You can just click on debug run. The pipeline has been succeeded. You can just click on this explore button. Here you can see we have moved the data from the Azure SQL as a file in our ADLS Gen2 account. So we have read one table with 417 rows to the destination. So I hope you have understood how you can able to create a user assigned managed identity, and you can assign it to your data factory and use the particular identity to authenticate your Azure SQL database and perform the migration. So if you find this video is helpful, please share with your friends. Please subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching.